Alright, real quick, due to embargo restrictions, I can only share screenshots and trailers for this review. So it's going to be a bit of a quick review. But tomorrow, me and Andre are going to have a review discussion that will have footage. So stay tuned there after watching this review. Alright, now time to hop into the review. Agent 64's Spies Never Die is a throwback game that's trying to capture the feelings of those 64 shooter games that were made by Rareware. I'm talking Goldeneye and Perfect Dark. Well, when it comes down to its looks, it has it down to a T with its perfectly low poly form, the way that faces are kind of just plastered on the front of the model, to the way how everything's so big and chunky and explodes when you shoot it, to using the same exact royalty-free hurt sound effects that Goldeneye had for shooting enemies. But for me, that's only nailing one aspect of nostalgia. The other aspect is nailing the feel and experience. And again, I think Agent 64 nails it with the way the game controls, moves, has pacing, level structure, level design. Everything feels very authentic. It almost feels like you're playing a game that was in between Goldeneye and Perfect Dark. And after playing this game, I've come to realize I've really missed that simplicity and FPSs that those games had, where all you had to really do is look in the general direction and the auto aim would take care of the rest. So you can focus on different aspects of the game rather than just being the quickest to shoot the trigger at the head. And on the aspect of sheer amount of content in this game, it is jam-packed with a story mode, a challenge mode, and last but certainly not least, an arena mode. And all of these modes you can play with friends, online or off, which I think is pretty great because all these modes kind of feed into each other. You have to play the single player game to unlock content for the multiplayer. And when you get better at the multiplayer mode, those skills will help you improve and get the harder challenges in the challenge mode and in the story mode. Now in the story mode, you play as Agent 64 and you travel the world to find clues to the impossible return of your nemesis who was long thought dead. Each mission will play out something similar to that of Goldeneye, where you'll be given a few select weapons and gadgets to figure out and solve the objective and side objectives. I was always a big fan of side objectives in Goldeneye, and here it's the exact same. You really feel clever as the game doesn't really give you markers. You kind of have to find it and figure it out on your own by just snooping around and feeling like a legit spy. And you have to play carefully, as this plays like an old FPS, as there is no health regen. All this game really has is body armor to help give you a boost in health, much like Goldeneye did, so you'll really have to play smart on harder difficulties. One of my favorite stages has you going undercover, which is one of my favorite gimmicks in gaming, and it has this nice little twist halfway through it that I don't want to spoil, but it really makes for some interesting gunfights within the game. And overall, the campaign was a smooth ride to get through and entertaining enough. It felt like getting cozy under a blanket and sipping on a nice drink. Shaken, not stirred, of course. There are other challenges that are, well, in the challenge mode, and these put you and your friends up against bots in different scenarios in the arenas. These are good for quick bites of enjoyment, but they have great unlocks behind them, so don't skip out on them. Now, back in the day, Goldeneye was king with its multiplayer, with its fun, creative, and laugh-out-loud moments that could happen with its kind of chaotic multiplayer, and Agent 64 nails this as well. It is no different than the old days, except now you can play online. This truly feels like a return of a party shooter. It's less about the competitive nature and more about just having joy and chaotic fun. You can have big heads, small heads, slappers only, and plenty more that keeps the game wild and chaotic, and most importantly, fun. A multiplayer versus game is only as half as good as its arsenal, and luckily this game covers all the bases, and there's not a clob in the bunch. If you know, you know. From powerful magnums, meaty shotguns, crazy rockets, and the devious proximity mines. It really feels like they got just the right amount of weapons to really cover all the bases here. If weapons are one half of the multiplayer, then the maps are the other half, and luckily this game has maps that are varied, vertical, and have distinct areas in each one, making each level feel richly in depth even on smaller stages, which really helps make the maps a blast to play on no matter how many times you play it. It really does feel like a proper continuation of those rare shooters back of old, evolving what should while keeping true to what matters, which is the fun pick up and play attitude so many shooters lack in this day and age. And that's why I loved Agent 64, Spies Never Die. Thank you all for watching, and there will be more in the review discussion. See ya!